It's that time. Scary stories time. Are you ready? Wow. Wow, I committed to this bit. Well, here we are. It's spooky season. Or if you're still stuck in 2011, spoopy season, I will acknowledge you. And before you start assuming, no, the scary horror story that I have to tell you is not the current state of Halo. Although that doesn't scare me, it gets me riled up, and
I've contained my rage for as long as possible, but I shall unleash my fury upon you like the crashing of 1,000 waves! I am untethered and my rage knows no bounds!
So with that in mind, let's list our way through some of the best horror games available to us on the Xbox Game Pass, Microsoft Game Pass. PC and Xbox do have a different catalog, so that is important to keep in mind. Not all of these games may be available depending on your platform. We're going to be going through this list according to the opinions of people who are not experts and also not multiple people. It's just me, it's just my opinion. I'm not an expert, but I like scary shit, and this list has a bunch of them. You should know we're going to have flashing lights, we're going to have some gore, we're going to have some horror stuff. So be ready for that. We're going to have kind of an honorable mention list of things that may not quite fit into the typical mold of horror later on in the video, but we'll get to that because horror is so much more than just what first meets the eye. So for now, let's just start with the straightforward horror. First up, we're going to see Alien Isolation. If you're a fan of the original movies and always thought to yourself, you know, I think I'd be pretty good at sneaking through the abandoned hallways of a space station and hiding from huge murder aliens by ducking into lockers and air vents and staying out of sight, then man, is this game for you. And also, you are super fucking wrong. You're actually terrible at it. This game follows in the exact mood of the original franchise and keeps not only the aesthetic, but the tech from the movies. And much like those, you're only going to be able to just sneak by. It's going to be close. This is a game that's going to have you whispering to yourself as you play, which isn't even all that good because the devs built in a microphone monitoring system. So the two AIs hunting you in this game will use you speaking as a giveaway to where you are. So good luck. You're basically going to be screaming out loud while you crash your way through the game.
Oh, here he goes.
There's that one. Next up is Dead Space. I'm going to be honest, this is the top of my list if I were to be ranking these in any kind of order. I adore this franchise. So by now, I'm sure you've seen all kinds of footage for the HD remaster, which is coming out, or remakeaster? I don't know. But if you, for some reason, have not played this series, this is a quick look at it. This is something awesome. Look at the stompy glory that is Dead Space. The story of this game is incredibly straightforward. In fact, it's so easy to understand that you can find a 7-hour documentary on YouTube that walks you through the lore. And that's more effective than me trying to explain. Basic premise, you are Isaac. You are walking around in his engineering work boots, fighting on the USS Ishimura against the creations of Space Satan. Like this dude, who's got a terrible headache and just no idea how to cure it. Oh, fixed it. The key to this game is the combat. Most of the weapons that you use are not intended to be weapons, so you use them in these grotesque circumstances with incredible efficiency because they are precision weapons, and the only way to defeat your enemies is essentially by dissecting them, and you have to sever their limbs. The second game, also available on Game Pass, is a huge reward to gamers, including a moment which will undoubtedly make your stomach drop through your cheeks right before picking it back up and twisting it with even more body horror and space demon babies. Stomp to make sure they're dead. If you don't want to play the spookies all by yourself and you would rather play with your friends or some matchmaking, I have some alternates here on the list. Also, how do you make friends? I'm asking for Whatever, I'm gonna edit this out.
And there was nothing more unattractive than desperation.
Here's some games that you can play with friends in the horror category or survival. I'm gonna read off my script because I'm making this in a hurry, just so I remember to get these in the correct order. First up, we've got 7 Days to Die. 7 Days to Die allows you the opportunity to play a game that seems like the love child of Minecraft and Raft, but it was made during a round of hate sex during a vicious breakup. Ruthless survival conditions and a need to constantly be upgrading and reinforcing your surroundings, which to some gamers sounds tedious and potentially boring, because I work enough in real life. Back 4 Blood. This is the new game from the original creators of Left 4 Dead, who just like sandwiching the number 4 around a couple of words. And that's exactly the amount of difference that they put in Left 4 Dead and Back 4 Blood. It's the same game, but we get this one newer. Look, I'm gonna be honest, this game died faster than I died playing this game on hard mode, but there is still a dedicated and committed fan base available for matchmaking, or load up for your friends. You're on Game Pass. It's free to you, and push through. It's got some good laughs. I will give it that much. I probably said the whole passionate fan base thing a little bit too early, because the last on my list of co-op options here is Dead by Daylight, and that has a passionate fan base. You could interpret the way I said passionate as toxic, and if you did that, you would have interpreted it correctly. But if you are able to crunch through the gatekeeping of this game's community, there's a lot of fun to be had here. The core idea is simple enough. 5 players, one of them is the killer, and that killer is the person who hopefully spent the least amount of money in the game, because killers are what you spend money on. I know you get survivors with them, but that's not been the reason people buy the packs. You're going up against horror movie franchise faces like Ghostface from the Scream movies. You've got the Demogorgon from Stranger Things. There's all kinds of available killers here, not to mention the original content on hand. So this game has a lot of fun for you and your friends to yank each other off of hooks and kick generators. So for the honorable mention sections, just like this list, there is no particular order to them. We are just going to list them. Alan Wake's American Nightmare. If you played the original, that game kicks ass. It's wonderful. If you haven't played the sequel and you want more of the story and a completely different type of gameplay experience, this is here. If we're talking Halloween, we're talking blood, we're talking gore, we're talking Doom. That's really all I've got to say. Go rip some alien eyeballs out, kids. Like I said, horror is more than meets the eye. Let's talk atmosphere. If you haven't played the Gears of War games with the destroyed beauty aesthetic pushed forward, these games are pretty harrowing. Fighting your way through the underworld of the world. It's got some really cool sentient bug battling and some surprisingly meaningful story in there for you as well. Unconventional choice, I know. Worth an honorable mention. Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice is another game that you've probably seen information on the sequel, and I am here to spoil the fact that you should play this game. Just play it. Just play this game. Just play it. Have you started playing this? A Plague Tale. If the idea of running for your life from rats which will eat a human body whole, set during the 100 Years' War, doesn't sound horrifying to you, then I don't think we have the same phobias. This is a great game. Another one, we have Plague Tale Innocence, which we have Requiem on the way shortly. I look forward to playing that one and seeing you while I play that game over on stream on the Twitch channel. I replaced the art with my little banner thing because I do YouTube. Aren't you proud of me?
Nope.
And lastly, in the honorable mention category is Prey. Not the genre-bending, mind-melting, impossible-to-find original Xbox 360 Prey, but Prey from Arcane Studios on Xbox One or PC Game Pass. This game is what I like to refer to as Trust Issues, the video game, because everything in this game could be an alien that's trying to kill you, and if it tries, it will succeed. and I still can't sleep when I think about this game for too long. If you've not been intrigued by this list of games so far and all of the violence, horror, and evil without, then let me remind you that there is also evil within. Good. Did you like that one? Did you like that one?
That's okay. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's cool, right?
Yeah, nice.
Whatever. This game is batshit bonkers. This game is so batshit bonkers. I'm currently playing this for a spooky game review for here on the channel. I really had a hard time following up Death Stranding because this game is so crazy, it honestly could have had Hideo Kojima's hands in it. Not to mention, it starts with roughly 7 minutes of gameplay before it sent me to an asylum on a 20-minute cutscene after barely escaping being chased by an earthquake. And I know there's no way you believe me, but if you hit the bell after you subscribe, then you'll be able to see the next video, which I'm working on, to see exactly what kind of bonkers I'm talking about. There's also the sequel, but I'll be honest, I haven't looked at that one yet. Not even a trailer because, well, you know, I'm playing it. But if this is your style, there is a lot of content available here for these games. Boom, you've just been horrified. Wait, no. I mean, you've been horror game-ified. Imagine I said something super clever in that moment and chuckle to yourself while you like the video down below. Appreciate that. I felt it. Got me just out of frame there. I appreciate you. I hope you enjoyed this list. It was silly to make, but I'm having a lot of fun doing this. Like I said, Evil Within video coming next. We are going to be playing a lot of horror over on the Twitch stream. We have Scorn coming out later this month, the Plague Tale sequel on the way. It's gonna get gross, and I can't wait for it. Let me know in the comments down below, what did I miss? What did I get that you hadn't thought of? Or what is your favorite horror game this time of year? Thank you so much for following me along as I Sherpa you up the mountain of content available on the Game Pass, and I'll be back with another one before you know it. See ya!